Today I'm working on this Waltham wristwatch, and has a few faults. It's about 50 minutes long, this video, so I'll split it up into 3 parts. Now you may notice that the hairspring is a little bit damaged on this watch. And when I opened the watch, a nice little timing screw fell out. So I need to investigate why that timing screw fell out, and I need to repair the hairspring, and I'm going to be stripping and servicing it. So first I'm going to remove the movement from the watch case. It's a 3-part case. There's the watch back snaps off and the watch front snaps off. Once the watch front is snapped off, as you may have noticed, I undone the case screws, and now the movement just pops out through the front. You don't have to remove the winder on these, as the winder is inset into the watch case. So I'm going to investigate and see how bad this spring is. So the first thing I want to do is actually remove the balance from the balance cock. And here we have a nice little bend by what looks like about 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do is, before I do anything else, I want to see if I can manipulate that back into the proper shape. And this is the missing, or the timing screw that has fallen out of the balance rim. And the rest of the timing screws don't look very healthy. Obviously a lot of work has been done in the past balancing and or truing this balance, or poising the balance. So what I'm doing is I'm just gently trying to manipulate the stud back to the proper angle. I'm using 2 pairs of tweezers. You may notice one of my pairs of tweezers is magnetized. But because of the bend is at the stud, I know for a fact that the collet will not line up with the jewel hole on the balance cock. And so I've decided that it's probably better to mount the hairspring without the balance onto the balance cock, and this way I can line up the collet with the jewel hole. So as you can see, it's quite far out. So what I need to do is, now that it's mounted in, it's a little bit more stable for me to be able to just edge it across and just really gently manipulate it until we've got it as central as possible. Of course, at the same time I don't want to twist it, so I'll be checking for flatness of the hairspring as well. And of course, this hairspring has an overcoil. So eventually, after quite a lot of manipulating, and I've managed to get it pretty much spot on. It's just a case of gently pushing it in, pulling it out, until we get it just right. Now with the hairspring back off the cock, you can see the difference. It's pretty much straight. So that being done, let's have a look at this timing screw. And as you can see, they're usually fitted in even amounts here, opposite each other. And so at the lower part of the picture there, you've got 3 screws. The top end, you've got 2 screws. So I'm going to use these balance screw holders, which are really handy and saves you from having to screw them in with screwdrivers, which is a very fiddly job. And these are just like little pin vices, but instead of screwing up the jaws as you would on a normal pin vice, these have a little sliding collet. And as you slide the collet down the shaft of the vice, it pinches in the jaws, and that will hold the screw whilst you screw it onto the balance rim. As I say, this is a lot less fiddly than attempting to do this with a screwdriver. Now, as it turns out, this screw, the reason why it fell out was that the thread was stripped on it. And so, in actual fact, it just turns forever. And so, what I eventually did was I replaced that screw with another one from a scrap Waltham movement. So now that's done, I'm just going to quickly give this a test and see what it looks like now, and that's before servicing. Okay, so it's a lot better than what it was, but we've still got some work to do. And whilst the balance was swinging, it was sticking. So what I'm doing now, with my hair in the way, is I'm getting in right close with my eyeglass, and I'm just making sure the hairspring is not touching the balance, and I'm very slightly manipulating it, and finally I've managed to get the balance to swing. Now the amplitude is very, very low, but of course this watch does need to be stripped and cleaned. So that's what I'm going to do next. So first, off with the hands. And of course now I'm going to remove the dial, which is secured with 3 screws around the edge of the movement. One of which is missing here, but so just remove the hour wheel, and whilst we're here we can remove the cannon pinion. It's still chugging away there. So back off with the balance. And need to remove any power that's left in the mainspring here. So I just pull back on the click spring and gently allow the mainspring to wind down. I say gently, and the reason is because it's quite possible that the mainspring can break if it just, snaps down and all power goes out very fast. It could cause some damage. So remove the ratchet and now off with the pallets. And one thing to note with these Walthams is that the bridges and the cocks are not usually very tight, so they're quite loose. And so when you're unscrewing them, it's important to hold them steady with another pair of tweezers or some pegwood. And this way you reduce the risk of damaging any pivots, especially with the pallets, but also important with the train wheel bridge. So here I'm just removing the click, which is an integral click and click spring. The barrel bridge is also the bridge for the centre wheel and the third wheel, as you might notice. So I'm just removing that. And finally the train wheel bridge. You'll notice I am holding it with my tweezers there, and that's, as I say, because these are quite loose, and whilst you're unscrewing, it's quite possible for these to jump around, for the actual bridge to jump around and potentially breaking a pivot. There you go. So remove the centre wheel, and we'll take out the third wheel. And now the fourth wheel has an extended pivot, so pull upwards. That's for the off-centre second hand. And of course we'll take off the escape wheel. And obviously here the barrel with the mainspring.